Look, a lot is going on when it comes to finance. Rising costs, shifting goals, economic uncertainty. All of that is in the mix right now. And so it could be the time to revisit your financial plan. So here to talk about your financial budget plan for the second half of the year is Northwestern Mutual Financial Advisor, Elijah Surall. So Elijah, we just threw a lot out there. A lot of folks at home right now, a lot of families are sitting around the dinner table, maybe going over their budget. We're at the mid-year point here. Is this a good time to maybe take a look back, do a little reset?
Yeah, it's a perfect time. What I like to look at is essentially kind of look at the year as like 4 quarters. And right now we're in the second half that's starting now. So being able to kind of get an idea of where you were at the beginning of the year, things that you wanted to get done that might not have gotten done yet, but just being able to kind of track everything, see where you are, reset, kind of pivot. I played football growing up, so you can't run the same play the whole entire game. So just being able to kind of adjust offense, adjust defense.
We're at halftime right now. We got to make adjustments,
Yes.
right? Do you find that it's harder for families to actually make the adjustments, or to get over the fear of making adjustments, or the hesitance to make adjustments?
I think honestly it's more of the time.
Yeah.
A lot of the clients I work with are very busy.
Yeah.
They have kids, so that's like, your time's not yours anymore. And so just the thing that goes into it is really just having someone that can kind of hold you accountable in that sense. There is sometimes fear also, but I would say it's also just making the time and just kind of getting it done, and just being able to get an idea of what the next half is going to look like, or where you're headed.
I've lived in a couple of different cities. San Diego seems to be, on top of being one of the most expensive cities to live, a city where you do have a lot of people who are very in tune with their finances because it's so expensive. So what are some signs for folks to look out for that they maybe need to shift their financial goals, either for better or worse?
Yeah, that's actually a great question. I would say getting an idea of how you feel, kind of taking an emotional check, I guess you can say.
Really? Okay.
If you're feeling confident about your finances, too confident, maybe it's time like, hey, let's see where we can start growing some money for you. If you're kind of stressed out and kind of keeping up at night, then into looking at, what is keeping you up? Why do you feel like this? But getting an idea of where you are mentally, and from there being able to make those adjustments, because it is a relationship that you have at that point as well.
There's so much going on in the financial world right now, outside of just even the news, but so many new advanced technology, things like that. What are some tools, some practical tools that families around the dinner table can use to try to improve their situation?
Yeah, that's great. I would say one of the biggest things is automating things.
Okay.
We live in a world of technology now where you can kind of create systems for yourself that are there. One of them could be essentially creating like a high yield savings account that you create automatic transfers from. That drops money into that savings, so it's out of sight, out of mind. You don't have to think about it. One of the biggest things I talk to people about is kind of their retirement planning, money that comes out for their 401k. It's going there, they're not thinking about it. It's not something that they're missing because it doesn't hit their paycheck. So things like that, but also keeping track of your spending. That's really the biggest hurdle. How many times are you eating out a month? Looking at areas that you can kind of cut back there too.
I mean, just us personally, one of the biggest things that we did was we started to use an app that tracked that spending. And once we saw how much we were eating out, for instance, we were just like, whoa.
Yeah.
You make that change and you can begin to see dividends pretty quickly, but also some really good long-term goals once you get that money elsewhere, right?
Yeah, compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So being able to kind of set yourself up for the long term, time is your best friend. So we always say smaller sooner beats larger later. And if you can kind of create those habits, that's going to be something that's great for you. But I'm also the type of advisor, like I'm going to tell you to spend your money. Like you need to take your trips, do what you do, but at the same time, make sure you're taking care of business too, so that your future is happy for yourself as well.
So if somebody is watching this today and they'd like to get in contact with you or somebody else with Northwestern to sort of get an idea of where they're going and what they need to do, how can they do that?
Yeah, so my website is my first and last name, so Elijah, ELIJAH, SURALL, N as in Nancy, M as in Mary.com. From there, you can book a meeting with me. We can set some time up. But also, if you just go on Northwestern's website, you can find an advisor that you'd be able to get connected with as well.
Okay, Elijah, before we go to break, any other advice that you think is kind of prevalent, especially with the times that we're getting on right now?
Yeah, I would say one of the big things, I work with a lot of parents, so thinking of sports that are coming up, thinking of if you're going to have a new child that's in daycare, uniforms, school, shopping, all of those things. There's a lot of apps that you can use if you find that you like to shop at certain stores. Sometimes they'll have different clearance items that they have on there, or they'll have different sales promoting for back to school. So that's a big thing that I always look at. And then, just kind of be mindful of this summer. It's one of those silent killers.
Yeah, being mindful. That's a good piece of advice right there, Elijah. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Really do appreciate it.